So now I'd like to just talk about aligning and scaling. Aligning is a great tool to allow you to match up objects at particular alignments. In other words, think about standing in the hallway. Teachers don't like when students are just standing all over the place. They want students all standing in a line, one behind the other. So that's what I'm talking about when I mean alignment. Everything's perfectly where you want it to be. Scaling relates to, let's think proportions. In other words, you're relating one thing to another, a length to a width. If I were to change just one dimension, I've changed my proportion. But if you increase both dimensions, both length, width, height, all at the same time, proportionally, I still have the same shape, a congruent shape. It might be bigger, it might be smaller, but it's still the exact same shape. So let's talk about some things that we can do. First off, I'm going to bring your attention up here where it says align. I also see ungroup, group, flip. I'm not worried about those right now. So when I click one object, I see flip activates, but I don't necessarily want to flip right now. So I'm going to use drag and click, and now I see align is now activated. It's now available for my clicking pleasure. So, let me talk about one other thing. As you get more and more shapes, the whole click and drag technique is not going to be helpful. So let me tell you guys a quick hint on selecting multiple objects inside kind of a crowded work plane. What you can do is you can click an object that you want. Now pick up your free hand and click and hold Shift. Shift is a magical key for Tinkercad. Then you can click on any other object you want, and then they become selected together. This allows you to avoid clicking on shapes that you don't necessarily want to manipulate at that time. That's really useful, as you'll find out with practice. All right, alignment. I want things to be in line. So I'm going to go ahead and try this bad boy out. Let's go ahead and click on align. I guess you can also press L there. So all these different circles pop up. What do all these different circles mean? Well, looking from left to right, let's just call that our horizontal for our purposes. I see there's a left, a right, or that's center, and this is right. So as I hover over each one, notice I haven't clicked it, but I can see it's kind of given a ghost image. It's telling me, hey, I'm going to put it right here. So let's go ahead and click the middle one, because let's say our goal is I want this round peg to go into this hole here. It's still too far up, looking from my perspective. So I'm looking from top to bottom. I'm going to go ahead and click this. And so now it looks like it's directly hovering above. That's cool. But it's not quite in the hole just yet. So, well, I clicked middle here. I clicked middle here. Let's go ahead and click middle again. It's now in there, but I have a problem. And those of you that watched my last video should probably know this, because you now see a shadow. You know that this is a floater. That's no bueno. It's just not going to work. So instead of doing that, let's go ahead and press Control Z, or you can press the back button if you so choose. And I'm going to go ahead and click align again. So instead of clicking the middle button and see how it projects the ghost image up, I want to click the bottom one. So the ghost image is now actually projecting into the hole. It's kind of hard to see from this perspective. So there we go. I can put a cylinder into a cylindrical hole. But this shape is not terribly useful. I could have just made a box for this, so I don't necessarily want that right now. So I'm going to press undo. That was just to show you guys that you can quickly align things. If you had practice, you can do that in about 2 seconds. So scaling. If you click on an object, the drag buttons will pop up, and we see that this is a 60 by 60 square quadrilateral prism. I guess that's not a good word to say. What do I call this? Rectangular prism. Yes, there we go. So it's 60 by 60. If I were to just click on one of these dimensions and drag it out, what happened to the shape inside? Well, the shape inside went from being a circle to a ellipse, to an oval, to an egg-shaped sort of thing. That's not what I wanted. I just wanted it to be longer. So how can I make this longer but then still have the same shape? Let's press our best friend, the undo button. So now I'm back to square one here, or square three, however you want to look at it. Let's go ahead and click on the shape, and I see the drag boxes. Take your free hand again, press and hold Shift. And as I press and hold Shift, I could increase one side and the other side will stay the exact same. So now as long as I'm holding Shift, I'm never going to lose my magical cylinder there in the middle, the cylindrical hole. So this allows me to change the shape, to be more exact, to change the size of the shape, but I'm not changing the shape. So it's still the exact same shape. Nothing has changed about the shape. The only thing that has changed are the relative dimensions. I still have a square. This is still a circle. So we use our knowledge of scaling, knowing that we need to change both measures, both length and width at the same time, proportionally. Well, I guess that's it for now.